Hey everyone, I'd like to persuade to my audience that the United States government should ban the puppy mills in order to protect the animal rights. My story is about my family and I just rescued two dogs from different places of animal rescue. When I was like sophomore, we got the first one, and the senior, we got the second puppy. The US and other countries have so many puppy mills everywhere in which they mistreat and provide more poor conditions that dogs live in. For the health of the dogs, they will never be able to experience a warm and loving home. However, dogs person, I am worried what will happen to dogs from puppy mills. In order to advance my proposition, I will first show a problem with how puppy mills harm dogs and don't provide clean conditions for dogs. Next, I will explain the cause of abandoning dogs found at puppy mill. And finally, we're going to solve a way to rescue dogs from puppy mills. There is a biggest problem about puppy mills being harmful and inhumane to dogs. Here's my point that there's a truth behind about puppy mills. On November 26, 2012, according to Dr. Frank McMillan in his article, Puppy Mills, the Scientific Evidence of Harm They Cause to Dogs. He talks about, in overall, the results of the study show that dogs kept in puppy mill develop extreme persistence, fears, and phobias, altered mental functioning, compulsive behavior such as circling and pacing, and often how show difficulty in coping successfully with normal existence, or in general terms, extensive and long-lasting psychological scars. This study provides the scientific evidence that the conditions within puppies are injuries to the mental health and welfare to dogs. This is a study from the Center for the Sheltered Dogs site that studies the consequences of mistreatment dogs from puppy mills. His reference where he wrote his academic journal called Mental Health of Dogs Formerly Used as Breeding, Stock in Commercial Breeding Establishments. Now we know the truth behind puppy mills, how they cause harm. Then next we need to know what causes mental welfare to dogs. So right now we're going to find out about the evidence of causing harm to themselves, and there are ways to rescue dogs. So right now, however, it's going to be rough to hear about it. Dogs being humane, but there are other ways to rehome them. So on March 24, 2018, according to Randy Kay in her article, this case shows why the breeder needs to be regulated. She says, charging the documents I obtained lay out the disturbing the details, sores on the legs, lesions covering the body, ear infection, conjunctives in their eyes. Some dogs are even gone blind. Many were forced to either lay down or walk through the faces dangerously high ammonia levels. It sounds horrible for the Great Dane dogs after they are found and there's no one who's to care of them. But there is a solution that she says. Of course, there are legitimate breeders who are dedicated to finding love home for dogs out there. If you do choose work with the breeder, just be sure to do your homework, which means whether they sell it or give it away to people to have a dogs. She got information from the Humane Society of the United States, cited in an article called Jury Finds New Hampshire Great Dane Breeder Guilty of Animal Cruelty. Overall, Great Danes are living in poor and abandoned conditions in which there is a risk for catching disease, but they were taken care of after someone tried to help them to find their new home who can take care of Great Dane dogs. It is clear to know Great Dane dogs have been found abandoned, but now we're going to find out that some U.S. states ban the puppy mills. Lastly, there are some states like California and New York that ban the puppy mills. Here's the benefits of some states banning the puppy mills. On July 24, 2012, according to Luis Ferro Sardani in his article, No More Pet Store Puppies, New York may finally ban sales. He says, if Ms. Haka signs the bill, New York will follow the lead of California and the other states that have passed similar bans meant to curb commercial breeding, sometimes called puppy mills or kitten factories. If the bill gets signed, then the breeders will be forced from running any puppy mills. Another solution that the articles are familiar, the first source in September 18, 2017, according to Christine Hosser in her article, California puppy mills ban finally would also cover kittens and bunnies. She interviews with Daphne Namadovic, and she says, there is no doubt this will help cut down the number of the animals who go into the animal shelter. Nothing in this bill stops people from purchasing an animal from the private breeder. If there are more laws restricting the puppy mills from the opening or being heavily regulated, this would help bring down the abundance of the animals being forced to breed under harsh conditions. She got information from the New York Times called a series of laws toughen animal protection in California. Last source on April 2nd, 2019, according to Kayla Fradd in her article, Puppy Mill versus Breeder, How to Spot Puppy Mill. She talks about the difference between the puppy mills and the breeders. She says, puppy mills don't allow people or allow visitors are going to be downtown near you because that's what puppy mills are, or even though they don't want anyone to know because some people are terrible for keeping breeders in prison. She says a good breeder will almost have a lot of questions for you about why you're interested in their breed, in their dogs. They want to know a lot about your lifestyle, and it will work for your match with right dogs. It's difficult to find an actual certified breeder who is legit and wants the best for the dogs. They are breeding. There are a lot of scammers on the internet who says they're 100% certified by the state to be able to breed and sell puppies. It is a good idea to research who you're trying to buy a dog from and then know the real information and avoid the scammers. She got information of states that have different specific laws for the puppy mills, and it's a hyperlink in the website. It was the right thing to do by some states banning the puppy mills and some people who support dogs. Today we looked at the issue of puppy mills, and that's why we rescue dogs. That's why U.S. states ban the puppy mills. Imagine you are the person interested in dogs. Rather buying the dogs from the puppy mills, you should go either animal shelter or research breeders. Thank you, everyone.